How to build your APA-style dissertation template. This video tutorial will review the basic steps of how to build your APA-style dissertation template in Microsoft Word. The goal of this tutorial is to teach you the following: downloading a base template, formatting paragraphs, creating styles, building a table of contents or TOC, building a list of tables, and building a list of figures. Please note that this video will be recorded using Microsoft Office version 2011 for Mac. If you are using a different version of Microsoft Office, your screen may look a little different. If you would like to skip ahead at any point during this presentation, please feel free to use the video table of contents that is located in the left-hand panel. Now, you want to build your dissertation template using styles dictated by the APA 6th edition manual. Before we begin, let's download a starting template from the Duquesne University Digital Library. Navigate to http://digital.library.duq.edu/cdm-etd/. On the electronic thesis and dissertation page, click the Guidelines and Templates link. The Guidelines page will display providing links to dissertation documents. Select the template which most closely matches your version of Microsoft Word. After the template has downloaded, save the template to a special location on your computer. Now let's reveal the current paragraph formatting within the document. In the top menu, click the Show Hide button. As we can see, there are a number of paragraph styles that were previously hidden in our document. We also see that this document contains many paragraph breaks. Paragraph breaks are also called hard returns. However, our dissertation will also need to use soft returns. So what's the difference? While a hard return creates a paragraph break and signals the start of a new paragraph, a soft return signals a line break, but not a full paragraph break. For a hard return, press the Enter or Return key on your keyboard. For soft returns, press the Shift key while pressing the Enter or Return key. Let's practice this in our dissertation template. We will create some major chapters in our template. Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Chapter 3, Methodology. Chapter 4, Results. Chapter 5, Conclusion. And finally, References. Remember to use soft returns after the chapter number and insert a page break after each chapter. Now that we understand paragraph formatting, let's create some styles. Instead of formatting text on the fly, we will be creating different styles that can be used throughout the entire document. The styles we will update include Heading 1 style, Heading 2 style, Heading 3 style, Normal style, and finally, References style. Because our template has so many first-level headings, let's define Heading 1 first. Click the Show or Hide the Toolbox button located in the upper menu. This will launch the Style Manager. To display all the styles available in the document, click the List drop-down menu and select All Styles. We can now see all current styles within the document. You will notice the Style Manager has already defined a Heading 1 style. Let's change this heading style to match the APA definition of a Heading 1 style. Click the Heading 1 drop-down menu and select Modify Style. The Modify Style dialog box displays. Use this dialog box to modify your style. In the Style Based On field, select No Style. This will indicate that Heading 1 will not inherit styling effects from other styles stored within the system. In the Style for the following paragraph, select Normal. This will indicate that the next paragraph following a heading style will be normal. Now let's look at the formatting section. The font family should be set to Times New Roman. The font size should be set to 12. The font weight should be set to bold. The font color should be set to black or automatic. Now let's look at the paragraph settings. The text should be centered. The spacing should be set to double. And to further edit the paragraph settings, click the Format drop-down box and select Paragraph. Let's make sure that all indentation and special measurements are set to 0. And also ensure that the line spacing is set to double. Click OK, and click OK again to save your Heading 1 style. Let's practice applying our new style. Find the Chapter 1 heading you created earlier. Place the cursor at the end of the line of text. Click the Heading 1 Style button in the Style dialog box. Also remember, we must have a soft return after the chapter number and a page break at the end of the chapter. Let's repeat this process on all chapters that were created earlier. While we are at it, let's continue this process for the abstract, the dedication, acknowledgement, list of tables, list of figures, and list of abbreviations headers. These headings will remain in uppercase, but they should also inherit the Heading 1 style. You will see why later when we create the table of contents. The abstract, dedication, acknowledgement, list of tables, list of figures, and finally list of abbreviations should now all be in Heading 1 style. Next, let's define our Heading 2 style. Click the Heading 2 drop-down menu and select Modify Style. In the Style Based On field, remember to select No Style. In the Style for Following Paragraph, select Normal. For formatting, the text should be set to Times New Roman, the font size to 12, the weight bolded. The text color should be automatic or black. Now, the text should be left justified and the spacing should be double. Let's look at the paragraph formatting. Again, make sure all special measurements and indentation are set to 0, and the line spacing is set to double. Click OK to confirm, and OK again to save your changes. Let's practice applying our new style. We will type sample text below our heading 1. Apply heading 2. Next, let's define our heading 3 style. Click the heading 3 drop-down menu and select Modify Style. In the Styles Based On box, select No Style. In the Style for Following Paragraph, select Normal. The font should be set to Times New Roman. Font size set to 12. Font weight set to bold. And font color set to automatic or black. The text should be left justified, and the line spacing should be set to double. Click the Format button and select Paragraph. Again, make sure all special measurements are set to 0, and the line spacing is set to double. However, we need to add a 0.5 indentation to the left indentation area. Click OK to confirm, OK again to save your changes to the heading 3 style. Now, let's practice using our heading 3 style. Type some sample text below our heading 2 style. Click the heading 3 style. We will now define our normal style. Select the normal drop-down box and select Modify Style. Let's make sure the font family is set to Times New Roman. The font size is at 12. The weight is set to normal, and the font color is at black or automatic. The text is left aligned, and the spacing is at double. Click the Format button and Paragraph. All special spacing should be at 0, and the line spacing should be double. However, the first line should indent by 0.5. Click Special and First Line, and make sure that the measurement is at 0.5. Click OK, OK again to save your changes. To test our normal style changes, we will now type sample text beneath our heading 3. Be certain that the normal style has been applied. Next, let's define our reference style text. Because the list of styles does not include a reference style, we will need to create one from scratch. Click the New Style button at the top of the Style dialog box. Enter References as the name. The style type should remain as paragraph, and the style based on should be set to No Style. Ensure that the font family is at Times New Roman, the font size 12, the font weight normal, and the font color set to black or automatic. The text should be left justified, and the spacing should again be double. Click the Format button and select Paragraph. All spacing measurements should remain at 0, and line spacing should be set to double. Click the special drop-down menu and select Hanging. Hanging should be indented by 0.5. Click OK to save changes. Now that you have identified your new reference style, we are going to attempt to apply it to a reference. Select the text, and click Reference. Finally, let's update our caption style. Captions are used to label objects like tables and figures. All tables and figures within an APA-style document require a caption. Let's insert a table into our document. In the Chapter 4 Results section, we are going to insert a new table. We will now place our cursor at the top of our table. Click the Insert tab in the top menu and select Caption. In the Label drop-down menu, select Table. This indicates that the caption we are using is a table. Click OK to confirm your changes. Notice that the Style Manager now contains a new caption style. Click the drop-down menu and select Modify Style. In the Style Based On field, select No Style. Make sure the font family is set to Times New Roman. The font size is set to 12. The font weight is normal. The font color is automatic or black. The text is left justified. And the text is double-spaced. Click the Format button and select Paragraph. Ensure all special spacing measurements are set to 0. And that the line spacing is set to double. Click OK to save your changes. You will notice that our caption style is now up to date. However, we are not finished. While our table now includes a caption, we must also give it a heading. Insert a soft return and type the name of the table. The final step is to italicize the table heading. We do not want to update the entire caption style, so we will modify our heading in line. Now let's practice the same thing with figures. Let's insert a figure into our document. Find Chapter 3, Methodology. Ensure the cursor is all the way to the left. Click the Insert tab in the top menu and select Photo. Add any picture that you wish to the document. Ensure the picture is centered on the page. Now that our sample figure has been inserted, we will add a caption. Place your cursor on the bottom of the figure, making sure that the cursor is left justified. Click the Insert tab and select Caption. In the Label drop-down menu, select Figure. APA style definitions dictate that we must add a period after the caption. Our figure now includes a caption, but again, we must also give our figure a heading. Unlike the table caption, the actual figure heading will be italicized and not the figure title. We are now ready to define and insert a table of contents into our template. You will notice that the base template that you downloaded from the Duquesne Digital Library already includes a table of contents. Let's delete this table of contents and create a new one. Ensure that all paragraph markers are aligned to the left side of the page. Place your cursor at the first paragraph marker. Click Document Elements tab in the Microsoft ribbon. Select Options. Here is your table of contents dialog box. Now, because we have applied the Heading 1, Heading 2, and Heading 3 styles accordingly, this new table of contents will pick up each of the defined headings and add them to the list. Click the Modify button so that we can change the style of the table of contents. We will be modifying the TOC1, TOC2, and TOC3. With TOC1 highlighted, click Modify. Ensure that the style type is set to paragraph, that the style based on is set to no style. Ensure the font family is set to Times New Roman. The font size is at 12. The font weight is at normal, and the font color is at black or automatic. The text should be left aligned, and the spacing should be double. Click the Format button and select Paragraph. Remove all special spacing measurements, but make sure that the spacing is set to double. Click OK. And we have now changed the TOC1 style. Let's move on to TOC2. Again, the style type should be set to paragraph, style based on set to no style. Ensure that the font family is at Times New Roman. The size is set to 12. The font weight is normal. The font color is automatic or black. The text is left justified, and the spacing is double. Ensure that all special spacing is at 0, and the line spacing is set to double. However, in the left indentation drop box menu, ensure that the indentation is set to 0.5. Click OK. Finally, let's modify TOC3 style. Again, style type should be set to paragraph. Style based on should be set to no style. The font should be set to Times New Roman. Font size should be at 12. Font weight should be normal. Font color should be black or automatic. The text should be left aligned, and the spacing should be set at double. Click the Format button and select Paragraph. Ensure that all special spacing is at 0 and line spacing is at double. However, in the left indentation drop-down menu, ensure that indentation is set to 1. Click OK to confirm your changes. Our table of contents is now generated. However, note that abstract, dedication, acknowledgement, list of tables, list of figures, and list of abbreviations are all in uppercase. One final step is to ensure that all font within the table of contents is title cased, meaning the first letter is capitalized while the rest are lowercased. We must now change all of these listings to title case by hand. We now have a complete table of contents. Next, we must create a list of tables in the List of Tables section of our document. A list of tables is very similar to a table of contents, but it pulls in the list of tables rather than a list of headings. We can now delete the current list of tables that was already added to our template. Ensure that all paragraph markers are aligned to the left side of the page. Place your cursor at the first paragraph marker. Click the Insert Index and Tables. Here is the Index and Tables dialog box. Ensure that the caption label box is set to Table. Now we need to modify the default style of the list of tables. Click the Modify button. Click Modify again. The style type should be set to Paragraph. The style should be based on No Style. Ensure that the font family is Times New Roman. The size is at 12. The weight is normal. And the color is set to Automatic or Black. The text is left aligned, and the spacing is at double. Click the Format, Paragraph. Ensure that all special spacing is set to 0, and that line spacing is set to double. Click OK to confirm your changes. You will see that a new list of tables has been generated. Next, we must make sure that no font is italicized. We must now create a list of figures. We can now delete the current list of figures. Again, make sure that all paragraph markers are left justified. Place your cursor at the first paragraph marker. Click the Insert tab and select Index and Tables. This time, you will choose Figure under Caption label. Select Modify. Modify again. Style type should be set to Paragraph. Style based on should be set to No Style. Text should be Times New Roman. Font size should be 12. Weight should be normal. Color should be black or automatic. The text should be left justified and double spaced. Select Format and Paragraph. All special spacing should again be at 0, and line spacing should be at double. Click OK to confirm. You will see that a new list of figures has automatically been generated. The final step is to ensure that no font is italicized. That concludes our tutorial of creating an APA-styled dissertation template. You now have a starting point on which to build your dissertation. Good luck and happy writing.